Hello, my name is Margaret Adele, and welcome to the list of reading goals I probably won't beat. But that's okay. Generally speaking, I love this time of year. I love late December, early January when everyone's talking about what they're looking forward to in the new year, what they want to do, how they want to revamp themselves or move or grow. I love that kind of rebirth, even though that sounds really sappy and sentimental. This idea of, yes, time is completely relative and we've made up these months, but we're still using this as an excuse to try and grow. And I love that. And usually I would have like a whole list of things. However, if you've watched my latest update or have been keeping up with me at all, things haven't been going super well for me. And I have come to the realization that while yes, I'm going to use BookTube as my hobby to give myself serotonin because other parts of my life have a serotonin deficit, I also need to be reasonable and compassionate to myself and not set gigantic goals when I'm already in a weird headspace. So I'm keeping things kind of chill this year and already accepting that, yeah, I'll probably give up on these like soonish, but I like the vibe they give me right now. So first off is the amount of goals I intend to read in 2022, and it is the same as it has been every year since I started doing the Goodreads challenge. That is 100 books. That may seem like a lot. However, books are one of my primary forms of entertainment, and I've never gotten underneath 130 in all the years that I have been like steadfastly recording my books. So that's actually me lowballing myself, and I've always told myself that I'm never going to raise it, even though I probably should go to like 120 or something, because I really like finishing that challenge somewhere around September and then just getting the rest of the year to like coast. It's really nice, and everything post-September, especially in those busy holiday months, just feels like a treat for me. Like it's all extra and I just get to see that book count still going up, but the bar is already full. So we're going to keep to that. But also I wanted to try a couple other things this year to see if I can't, one, be more mindful of my reading and actually pick my books with a little bit more thought. And two, I really gotta start tackling the books I own. December, like a lot of people, is usually a time when I end up getting a ton of books, because if I don't get them as gifts, I get gift cards, and then I go out and buy some, and I got a lot of book gift cards, and it was awesome. I got a book gift card to a local chain, and also a local thrift store, and I found a lot of cool books there. But now this means that I have a lot of extra books, and I haven't been reading as much. So I am doing a TBR challenge that I have done before, but I've never completed it over the course of the year. And so I keep retrying it and re-editing it and seeing if this time will work. And the whole idea of the challenge is that I cannot get a new book, and not just get a new book at all, until I have read at least two of the ones I've owned. And if you would like to see, here you can see my lovely little bullet journal spread where I can even like write down what kind of book, like library book, indie paperback, whatever, and then get a new book for every two I've read. And what I mean by get is not only buy, but also things like downloading for free off BookBub, or going to the library, or borrowing a book from a friend, or all of those kind of areas, mostly because those can clog up your shelves just as much. However, if this does not necessarily work, I will probably also institute a kind of DNF clause wherein, okay, I don't want to read two more books, or maybe I've already bought two books but I haven't read any. Now I must DNF or unhaul X amount of books and get them out of my shelves or off of my Kindle or what have you, give them back to the person I borrowed it from, whatever it is. Just so that I can actually start whittling down my TBR, because there are a lot of books on there that I downloaded off BookBub years ago, and they're like in the way far back of my unread books on my Kindle, and haven't even like thought of them in years, and I need to start getting through and deleting or reading those, one or the two. So I'm hoping that this will work. I think the last time I tried this, I got near the end of February before I gave up on it. But honestly, even if I don't keep up with it long term into the new year. In a lot of cases, it at least helps me tackle my TBR post the big book buying or book getting binge from December, and at least helps my TBR return to stasis, if not actually whittle it down. So it is January 1st, literally the first day of the TBR challenge. My parents are visiting, and my mom really, really wants to shop because our town has a lot more stores than their town does. And what does she want to shop for? Books, of course. So we go to several different bookstores, and I am like reining in all of my worst instincts, but I'm like, crap, I don't want to break it on the very first day before I've even started a book. So I compromised. And I got a coloring book because it doesn't go on the TBR, so it doesn't count. But, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how long this challenge is going to last. But the other thing I want to do, and I have tried to do this one many times as well, is the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. This is a challenge made by I think they're like a lifestyle news website, Pop Sugar. And I know literally nothing else about the site. I literally have only ever checked into them for this yearly reading challenge, and it is fairly massive. I think it is meant to be for like a book a week, if I remember correctly. And I know it's so hard to see in this lighting, but I do love this year's setup because it's supposed to look like one of those old like library checkout cards, which is really nice. And the thing I like about the challenge in general is they usually come up with really, really inventive and interesting different prompts that help you read at a wider range. Like a lot of these, like there's one that's like read a book with someone that uses a mobility aid, or I think there's like read a Latinx book. Like it's those kind of books that help you remember to diversify your reading. However, like most TBRs or most readathons, I usually chafe at being told what to read pretty early on. And so this time I am going to take it in a slightly different way, whereas instead of I'm going to finish this, it's I'm going to use this as a resource tool. So what I am going to do is, as I just generally read review books or other books that I want to read for booktube videos or what have you, I will just check on this. See, is something I already want to read on this list as it is. Like, for example, it has a book with someone using a mobility aid. I am already working on compiling a list of genre fiction involving disabled characters. So I already have books on a TBR that involve someone that uses the mobility aid. So that'll be easy to knock off. But also, in those rare moments where I'm in that kind of paralyzed stasis of, I have to pick a new book, but there's so many of them, my thought process is that I will use this as a resource to pick the next book. So if I'm looking over my review list and I know I need to get another review book out, but I just can't think of one, I can use this as a guide to help me pick. Or if I need to if I want to do a 24-hour readathon, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do like a Pop Sugar 24-hour readathon. That could actually be a really fun video. But I'm not looking at this as a thing that I have to complete. This is going to be a thing that I will use as a resource, and I know that there are a couple other booktubers that have talked about doing it, a couple other that have completed it, which, good on you, because I read enough books a year to complete this, no problem, but I never have finished it. So I don't think I'll finish it this year. Maybe I'll pleasantly surprise myself. Maybe my year will do a 180 and turn around and I'll suddenly be filled with all of this inspiration to do stuff. Or maybe other big life events will happen and I'll still be happy but distracted. I don't know. Honestly, there are certain life events that if they happened, if my life changed in certain ways, I probably would be happy not even reaching my regular reading goal. But for right now, this is where I'm getting my serotonin. And if you need any more context for that, you can check out my update video. I am wearing the same outfit in that one because I did a massive recording session. But be prepared for some emotions in it. 2021 was not kind to me. And honestly, I think 2022 is probably going to be more of the same, at least at the beginning. Here's hoping moving forward, I can get at a steadier footing in my mental health and in my regular life. And here's hoping that, who knows, maybe I'll actually complete one of these things this year. If you are doing any challenges for 2022, I would love to hear them. You can comment those down below. If you've ever done Pop Sugar, if you've ever beaten Pop Sugar, I would love to know that, because they're so specific and there's so many of them. It seems like a Herculean task, but regardless, I would love to see any other challenges so I can root you on as well. And with nothing else to say, I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow.